And welcome to episode number 104 of the Metamorphosis Unleashed. My name is Coach Walter. I'm your co-host, and there's my girl, Dale. We are here to make it happen. And we got a juicy topic for y'all today. Will I look like a man?
Will I look like a dude?
Not thinking like a man, not smelling like a man. Will I look like a man?
Yeah.
Y'all, but real quick, before we get started, take care of some housekeeping. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Make sure we get your algorithm. And if you think this is great content for you, please submit to us any questions, idea for show formats that you have. My email address is info at bestindelaware.com. All right, let's get into it. How was your week first? Did you have a good weekend?
Week was good. Week was good. And you see, I got the jacket on. It's still a little chilly out here for sister, but
it was 74 here this weekend.
Yeah,
here this weekend.
I just, I think about all the nice days that I'm missing, but I know I'll be home soon. Baby boy is doing well, growing, got the thick legs going,
already,
When I'm looking at him, I'm looking at his muscle formations as he's growing, which is really cool to see. He can now start pushing himself up. So the next step is crawling, right?
Trouble.
So just putting him on his belly and making him do what we call tummy exercises, which is really strengthening his arms. And he hates it. He screams, he fusses, but he's doing good. So we're all doing good. So I'm winding down, ready to head on back to Delaware.
Come home and have fun.
Yes.
It's
sleeping tonight.
Val misses you. You get to sleep through the night. Other friends here. Where's Dale? When she's coming home? Where's Dale?
I know. I
even got somebody who wants to catch a ride with you on the way up who lives right down by you.
Oh, really?
Gym, but she don't want to drive all this way. So I said, y'all can work out,
Yes.
Y'all can flip flop back and forth when you come up. So
that is awesome.
I'm a heavy riding partner.
Yes.
There you go. See how easy
do that.
We working.
That's gonna be good. That's awesome.
But other than that,
definitely
doing good. I think we added on 2 new clients last week. 2 new clients last week.
Okay.
And then we we getting ready for our retreat for next year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have fun.
It's an amazing special time.
Yeah.
I think we all go in with thoughts about, I'm going to be exercising, my body's going to be hurting, but it's not just the body that's being challenged, it's the mind that's
your brain. That's right. We try to work all of you, not just part of you.
Exactly. So it's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Now, so we get out.
I feel bad for the women that can't come.
Yeah, right. Don't worry. There may be an opportunity late next year for a second retreat. We have like 5 people on the waiting list for 2027. So we're going to try to maybe do one in the mid-year next year, but it'll be hot. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Depends on where we'll be.
Yeah.
Arizona in January is going to be beautiful.
Awesome. So
Looking forward to it.
So that's that. Otherwise, we had a little event with the links this weekend at the Black Family Health Expo. The links for Wilmington chapter and Dover chapter had a nice party, a really nice gathering. We talked about stress management and colon cancer and wills and prostate cancer and breast cancer and all the boring stuff. And then they had guys there teaching kids how to tie ties. So it was like a good family time as well. So it was good for us to be out there. And then there was me. I made them work out. They was crying and complaining, but I don't care. I don't care one bit.
That's awesome.
But it was a chair workout. So they did a nice little chair workout. We worked on some strength development using the chair. We partnered with another company that does yoga in Wilmington. So they're going to work with us in the future too. Come down maybe once a month to do yoga on Free Fitness Saturdays. And it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But anyway.
Community. I love it.
Let's dig into this funky topic.
Yes, it's funky. And, I have a lot of questions about that in terms of, I never felt like I was going to. So I always thought that women that look like dudes that worked out were either gay, or, something else was going on, something clicked in their bodies that just made them start developing like male looking muscles. And then it wasn't until I met a woman that was extremely muscular. she wasn't competing or anything. She was just really, really muscular.
Right?
And she just said, no, that's how she naturally looked. And I'm just kind of looking like, yeah, I don't think so. But if that's what you
Yeah.
want to tell people, then that's on you. But I do want to know. I mean, if I'm going to do umpteen reps of arm curls, am I going to start looking like Fred Flintstone? Am I
So,
going to have the look of big up here and then a skinny leg situation like
well,
you see?
no. Listen, let's just hit this first dead on. If it was that easy to be jacked,
Yeah.
every man in the world will be jacked.
Okay.
All of them. Period. Full stop.
Jack
Period.
meaning
Full stop. Big and muscular and look like
chiseled. Yeah.
Period. It just because I promise you, there's not a bunch of men walking around looking like me.
Yeah. No, there's not.
Right.
Because I get all the ones that don't look like you saying, "Hey, what's up, shorty?" Right? And they don't look like you. So
they be talking about, "Hey, girl, come here, come here,
guy. What's your name?" No.
So it is a couple reasons why, right? Let's go all the way back to micro. Let's look all the way back to biology. We know that men's bones are denser just because we're men. So our rib cages are bigger, they expand bigger, they go longer into our body. Our muscle bellies are bigger, and we have this chemical called testosterone in our body that makes us stronger, that makes us lose weight faster, that makes us have faster reflexes and all those types of things. So unless a woman is taking, typically, I mean, there are outliers, right? We're talking generally speaking on the bell curve. Typically speaking, women aren't going to outgrow men when it comes to muscle mass. It just ain't going to happen just because you're not designed to.
Okay.
When you see outliers, women who are on the stage competing in bodybuilding and stuff like that, they are enhanced. Period. Full stop.
Meaning they take steroids.
They're enhanced. Yes. Any amount of it could be steroids. Some other chemical is helping them
get to that level.
Get to that point. Right.
Okay.
Are there 1% athletes who just are? Yeah, sure. And do they have a little bit more muscle mass than typical women? Yeah, sure. Does that mean that they're any less feminine? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Even the women who are taking enhancements, they're no less feminine. I promise you. Because when we go outside in the streets and we go to the sports festivals, all that stuff, trust me when I tell you, they are feminine.
Why?
Because they look it. They're hunting. Yes, ma'am. They're hunting. Yes, ma'am. So, and typically they're not hunting for somebody who participates in the sport the same way that they do, right? So yeah, they're hunting. Yeah.
Wait. Why is that? Do you think?
I have no idea.
Put my glasses on now. You know,
I have no idea. But what I can tell you is that when my friends and I go out to the different big sports festivals, to the Arnold or to the Olympia, we get hit on a lot.
Wow.
By female athletes, and it's not just the bodybuilding athletes; it's all of them, right? It's bikini, it's wellness, it's all of those competitors are all using some type of enhancements. So it's not just the ones who are huge and jacked. I mean, to compete at that level, you have to be able to recover faster. So taking supplementation helps you to recover faster. So imagine if you can hammer leg day 4 days a week without getting as sore, without having as much of a need to recover. Right. That's the major difference between enhanced athletes and non-enhanced athletes. They can train that hard 3 or 4 days a week. Normal folks, we only can do once or maybe twice a week. We can't do that many days a week training legs, chest, arms, with that stuff. So yeah, you're not gonna look like a dude. I promise. Dudes ain't gonna look like that just arbitrarily. But what we do know is, will you be stronger? Yes. Will you lose weight faster? Yes. Will you look more feminine? Absolutely. So you actually look more like a lady than look like a man by strength training.
Well, do you think Michelle Obama does strength training the way her arms look? Because every woman wants her kind of arms.
Genetics, absolutely. Genetics, though. Part of the genetics. Let's be for real. She picked the right parents. I mean, her dad was 6'9", and he's athlete, and mom's athlete, and everybody's athlete. So. Her brothers were athletes. She couldn't sit around and do nothing all day. She couldn't just be a brainiac. She had to have fun and play basketball, play sports and stuff. So, and she's tall. She's like 5'11". So it's not like she sat around and did nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has gorgeous arms, just like Viola Davis and
Well, she strength trained too. Mary J. Blige, all of them, they all strength trained.
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. Is that
And
just arm curls to get the arms like that?
more than bicep curls, yes, ma'am.
More than
Definitely more than bicep curls. I mean, just think your bicep is only 40% of your arm. Your
yeah,
tricep
it's
is where
just
the
up
mass
here.
is, right? The tricep is three parts of your arm, so the tricep is 60%.
Yeah. Okay. All
So
right.
it's more than just that, you know. Um, and I think that one of the other big misconceptions is that if I lift heavy weight, that's going to make me look more bulky and muscular. No, it's just not. So what we also know that science tells us is the more muscle mass that you have, the higher your metabolic burn rate is. So that
Mhm.
means that for you at a 130-pound woman that has 15 or 20% body fat versus the 150-pound woman with 35% body fat, she's going to have a higher metabolic burn rate than the person who weighs more, which means for her to stay the same weight, she has to consume more food
Yeah.
than the person who actually weighs more but has less muscle mass. So let's make sure you heard that right, ladies.
So yeah. So wait. So I think what kind of messes with me all the time is like you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about someone who has a high metabolic burn rate.
Mm-hmm.
They, in order for them to stay the same size, they have to eat more. But does that mean if they don't eat more, that they're going to lose the weight faster because their metabolic rate is so
So
high?
you asked like five questions in one.
I
So
know. I
that's
know.
5 questions in one. So let's try to make it easy.
Okay.
So let's use round numbers to make it easy. Let's use 100 pounds just because the math is easy that way. So let's say somebody weighs 100 pounds.
Okay.
And for them to maintain their 100-pound body weight,
Mm-hmm.
right, it's going to require them to eat 2,000 calories a day
Okay.
because they run, they lift weights, they have active lifestyle. So for them to stay 100 pounds, they got to eat 2,000 calories a day
Okay.
because their body is using it. So it's kind of like a log in a fireplace. You want to keep the fire roaring, you got to have it on a big log.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you reduce the amount of log that you have, it's still going to burn at the same pace,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to start smoldering, and it's not going to be that much left a
Right.
lot faster. So the
Right.
same type of thing happens to your body. If there is no free fat or any tissue that the body can absorb, it's going to then start slowing down on purpose. That makes you more lethargic. That's why people, when they do bodybuilding shows, as they reduce the amount of calories they take, they get more tired because they haven't had as much food to eat.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to know that type of information before you get started on your process. So that person requires 2,000 calories. If you cut her down to 1,500, she's going to be tired, but she'll be able to push through. Reduce down to 1,200 calories a day. Now she's dying, right? She's really tired. She's really exhausted, but her workouts aren't going to be effective because she doesn't have as much stored energy to go. Now,
So a woman that's obese
yes.
who, let's say she has a low metabolic rate, right?
Yep. So let's take the person that weighs 200 pounds versus the person weighs
Okay.
100,
You're right.
right? That person, her caloric need may be 1,600 calories a day because she don't do anything,
Okay.
right? Your
Mm-hmm.
heart still requires function, your brain still requires function, all that kind of stuff. But you're not moving around that much anyway. You're not using that much energy anyway. So 1,600 calories is all you need.
So
And if
then
you
why
eat
is she
less,
gaining weight?
because her body is super slow.
Her
So meaning
metabolism is super
her
slow.
metabolism, exactly, just super slow because she doesn't do anything. Right?
Okay.
Now, here's what's really interesting. That same 200-pound person, if
Mm-hmm.
you add a little bit more than their basal metabolic rate initially
Mm-hmm.
and get them moving actively, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to help them lose weight faster, even though they're eating more. But by introducing the exercise, it's going to make their body try to source all the stored energy around the body and use the new food that they're eating. So for the
So it's
first
not
two or
going to
three
make them
weeks,
gain more weight.
right, it'll
Mm.
make them stagnant for maybe 7 days, 6 days, and then we'll tweak back the food, maybe 100 calories, and then boom, weight loss happens, right? And that's the drastic change that a lot of people see when they first start their journey. And then it's the matter of how to accommodate for your metabolic waves that you have. So that's why it's important that you, in my opinion, that you eat 3 to 4 or even 5 meals a day, spreading out those calories by 3 hours a piece. That way, you can make your metabolism have as few changes, but still operate at a high rate with as few changes between the plot lines that's possible. So, like your metabolism, kind of. I wish I had just done this on a graph on here. So every meal, your metabolism spikes up and then comes back down, and then spikes up and comes back down. So if you're only eating once a day, your metabolism is going to start off lower than it's supposed to be because your body knows after 3 or 4 days you're only eating once a day. It's going to slow way down. It's going to make you super tired because you don't have any stored energy to use. And your body knows that you're not bringing any food in, so we're going to slow everything all the way down. And then when you eat that one time a day, it's going to spike all the way up because now I got food, I can use it, and then it's going to drop back down because now it's going to want to store that food. But Walter, I lose so much weight when I do intermittent fasting. You might, but what do you look like? How do you feel? Right? So your body doesn't like those types of changes. Your body prefers those
Constant.
3 or 4 meals a day, that nice, constant, steady flow. And it's easier to manage. So let's say you're eating 4 meals a day, and let's say you're doing 300 calories for each meal. That's only 1,200 calories. But if I brought you down to 1,000 calories and you're doing 250 calories per meal, you can't feel the difference. Your body does, but your brain and your stomach don't. The volume of the food is very, very close to the same.
Right. Okay.
And now I can manipulate water and manipulate the food to help you manage eating less calories over time. And that'll help you maintain your weight loss as you continue on your journey. So you don't have that yo-yo diet effect that a lot of people suffer from because they don't understand that when you lose the weight, you still got to eat similarly to maintain their weight loss.
So the women that look like dudes,
Yes.
that have been exercising,
Yes.
are on supplements.
Typically, yes.
So those supplements are helping them build those muscles, and then
Yes.
they're lean in terms of what they're eating, so they lose the
Oh, yeah.
weight, but the muscle will protrude more, right? All right, and that's what guys do too.
Yes.
And so when women stop exercising, I shouldn't say stop exercising, let's say stop lifting weights. What could possibly happen to the body then? Do we lose all of our muscle then? What happens at that point if we do that?
Eventually, right? Eventually, we're all going to die. So eventually, we're all going to lose all our muscle mass, right? So the answer is eventually. But the more time you spend strength training, the less likely it is that you're going to gain weight or lose your muscle mass over time. Eventually it's going to happen, but it's going to happen a lot slower.
So what age do you normally see people who, on average, stop doing the strength training?
There are people I know that are 95 years old, still strength training. Ernestine Shepherd, 85 years old, still strength training. It just depends on the human being. There is no usual. What we know is in America, people are lazy and they stop after high school. So
I guess it's the different types of strength training. Are there different types of strength training?
Absolutely. It's functional strength training. It's like for doing squats, for instance, doing weighted squats, whether you use a pair of dumbbells that are 10 pounds each or something like that. That helps you with functional strength. So you can stand up, sit down, pick kettlebells up off the floor, put it over your head. So doing your overhead presses, all those types of things are all there to help you live your life and still be able to take care of yourself.
Okay.
And then there's strength training to be competitive, right? And then there's strength training for hypertrophy or being a bodybuilder because you want your body to look really good. So you got to do high volume at a medium to high weight so you can look as good as you can. So it really depends on what your goals are. And that is the key to why every single person needs a trainer, right? You need somebody who's going to help you write out your plan, sit with you for your nutrition, go through all those steps with you so that you're able to make the best decisions, when to work out, how to work out, and what type of plan is best for the needs that you say that you want.
And so, what if somebody wants to go alone, do it alone? What would you suggest to them?
It's hard, right? If people could do it by themselves, they would.
Hmm.
There are, again, this is on the bell curve. So there are people who work out by themselves. I mean, sometimes I work out by myself. Do I like to? No. Do I want to? No. I'd rather have somebody here who I know is going to be able to push me and keep me moving along and things like that. So um, I am a big believer in using, keeping, and working with a trainer, or very least a very knowledgeable partner in the gym.
Yeah.
Those are tools that people need to take advantage of.
Is circuit weight considered strength training?
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen, circuit training, free weight training, we can body weight. I mean, there's lots of things you can do to work and get to get your work in.
What about like just a walk? Is walking considered strength training, or is it just
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, that's cardio. That's just make your heart stronger.
What
And
about
science
things like
tells us that lifting weights is more effective at fat loss than cardio.
what about chair when you do the
If you use
chair?
dumbbells, yeah, sure.
Oh, you have to have dumbbells.
You
You have to
should.
have weight.
You can some kind of resistance. The secret is some kind of resistance.
Some kind of resistance. So your own
Preferably
body weight is like the very beginning
at the very least.
at the least. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Can you do push-ups to build muscle? Absolutely. There was a football player from Georgia who did 2,400 push-ups a day. He never lifted weights and did body weight squats. Mike Tyson never lifted weights. And these guys were tremendous athletes and physical specimens. But no one's going to sit down and do 2,400 push-ups in a day.
Yeah.
Unlikely. No one's going to do 5,000 squats a day. It's unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
So we operate in the realm of let's do a good gym with okay equipment and build a plan that works that you can do consistently.
What if somebody wanted to have a gym at home?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say would be the first piece of equipment they should get?
Dumbbells. That'd be the first because they're the most useful.
They're the most useful.
Yeah, you can do all body parts easily with a pair of dumbbells.
Now, will women's necks get bigger if they're lifting weights?
They get smaller.
They get smaller. So you know how men kind of get that all one neck shoulder
So
situation?
that's your traps.
Yeah.
Right? That's your traps. It's not your neck.
Yeah.
So if you do shoulder shrugs, then yeah, you're gonna grow your traps, but that's what they're for, right? You carry heavy enough pocketbook, you got big enough boobs, your traps gonna be big. It's just what's gonna happen. It's just nature.
Yeah. Okay.
You carry heavy pocketbook, you won't get traps.
I mean, pocketbooks are a necessity. Thank you very much.
Well, if they're heavy, they're gonna make you get traps.
I try not to make them heavy because they also make you lopsided.
Yep.
You find yourself.
And just like men shouldn't put their wallet in their back pocket because they'll sit lopsided, hurt the back. Yeah, same deal.
Oh, I never thought about that for men and their wallets in the back pocket.
My chiropractor told me that. Always put my wallet in my front pocket. So now I just carry a little
wallet. Yeah.
Front pocket. Yep. No more billfold. The old school billfold. Put that in the back.
Yeah.
Big old thick thing. 47 business cards. 18,000 receipts.
Yeah.
Got a rubber brand around it. None of that. None of that.
Yeah. That's interesting. So we all, even though we're male, female, doesn't matter, our habits can also hurt us if we're not paying attention.
Yeah, if you remember when we talked about shoes just the other day, how your shoes wear impacts everything all the way up. So imagine sitting on something that's an inch thick. Your butt's here, and you're sitting this high on one side, you're gonna be crooked. Small things matter.
So what does it mean when somebody is walking like on the outside of their shoes or walking on the
inside of their shoes? So you got underpronation, overpronation. So your gait cycle, which is the motion that your feet make when you're walking, that's your gait cycle. Mm-hmm. So when your feet go out, that's underpronation. That means you don't have enough motion in your gait cycle. Typically, that happens when children walk too soon. Typically. I mean, are there other reasons? Of course there are, but typically because they walk too soon.
Okay.
And inside is the exact opposite. They walk too late.
Okay.
So, and what we don't do is we don't offer corrective shoes anymore. Nobody wears those hard Buster Brown shoes anymore to correct feet like they used to when we were kids. Well, when I
Yeah.
was a kid. I don't know what they wore when you was a kid, but you know.
Well, we had Buster Browns too. Thank you very much. I'm not that old. Don't even go there.
You know the bronze with the big picture 8x10 in the back?
Yes. I think it was my generation that started that. Thank you very much.
Probably. But yes, so those types of things are very, very important. So parents, don't have your kids walk around in these little soft shoes when they're 3. Get them some hard shoes they can actually walk in and protect their feet, protect their ankles, protect their bone structure. Because those are the formative years of their little bones. So kids that come out bow-legged, that means they're walking like this, they're walking too early. Get them feet straight, wear the right footwear, and better results.
Well, isn't it that they don't wear those anymore because now the shoes are made better and where they're giving kids the support?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any kids.
Tennis shoes. So.
I don't have any kids, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, I think that's part of it. He didn't have to go in those, but I did make sure he had hard sole shoes when he was walking. So, but they weren't Buster Browns because I think Buster Browns went out of business. I think. I don't know.
Right. I wouldn't know. So I think overall, though, that is a fear that women should not have. You should not be worried about looking like a man when you work out because the odds are it just ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. What about the getting the 6-pack? That's not gonna happen.
Oh, it can. You can get a 6-pack. It's hard, especially for women if they had children too. It is very, very reasonable to have a flat stomach and get a 6-pack if you haven't had kids. If you have had kids, it's gonna be tougher because your muscles got to stretch when you have a baby. But you diet hard enough, everything can happen. Now, what will happen is you might have smaller boobs. That'll happen because boobs are nothing but fat. So as you get leaner and your body is looking for fat stores to replenish itself, it's going to turn into your boobs, and your boobs are going to get smaller. So,
yeah, I've had that experience, and it's not a fun one,
right?
Because I'm not that my boobs weren't like super big anyway, right. And so when I started losing weight, that was one of the main areas I noticed my boobs were swimming in my bras. And then when I would look at myself in the mirror, I look like a pear with tiny boobs. That's not pretty. It's not cute, and
that means you got to make the hip smaller. That's all. It sucks that we can't control how we lose weight, right? We can't control where the fat leaves first.
Yes,
but
if that could happen,
if we could, you couldn't afford me. If I can figure that out,
I know, right?
We'll start off the guru on earth. But yeah, no, you're not going to be able to pick and choose where you lose fat from without a scalpel.
Well, I've just noticed, like for me, I've mainly started losing in the boob area and in my leg area. And I can't tell if it's that they're shrinking or is it, well, the thing that gets me is that, before I started working out,
right,
even though I was overweight, like everything was still tight, but it was big tight, right? And now everything is like jiggly, and gravity is starting to.
You gotta lift more weights. That's all.
Pull it down, right?
You gotta lift some weights. That's right.
And so, I guess I'm trying to figure out. It's really funny because, one of Mary Kay products that you see all these different kind of products out there where it'll help firm your skin. But will it really firm your skin, or
yes,
like you said, you got to lift weights?
I use it
to get it to really firm the skin. So it's a combination. It's not just the ointments. It's the lifting weights and because
if you think how our skin works, it's just a protective sheath, and after the epidermis is your dermis, which is that nice layer of fat, and that typically is your muscle tissue, right? So if we reduce the amount of fat and also build muscle at the same time, now the muscle is going to push against epidermis. So that's the difference between, right here, where I have most of my muscle tissues here, or my chest, my shoulders, versus my gut, right, or on my backside, because those are the places where I typically hold the most fat. So everybody loses their fat differently. If I can get the rest of my body to be like this, shit, I'll be Mr. Olympia. But I can't control where and how I lose weight. So I can only control that I do lose weight, and you just have to be consistent with your efforts, and that'll make it easier for you.
And so, which is harder to lose, the real firm fat or the really jiggly fat? Because you see some women who never worked out and they're very jiggly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see some women that are just as big, but they're not jiggly. They're more
Mm-hmm.
tight.
Mm-hmm.
So which is easier to lose?
Everybody's different because everybody's different. There is no.
So fat is fat, basically. It doesn't matter if it's jiggly fat or if it's firm fat.
Adipose tissue is adipose. The chemical makeup is still the same.
Mm.
Right. The difference in your muscle, though, right,
Mm-hmm.
versus your fat is the density, right? This is about 30% smaller than this, yet they weigh the same.
Mm-hmm.
So the more muscle you have, the more likely you are to have the tighter skin because you got more muscle pushing against the fat, which then in turn is pushing against the skin. But there are some people who drink a lot of alcohol, for instance, right? And then they have all the bacteria and stuff in their gut and pushes against the stomach and makes it really hard. So it just is different.
Mm.
Everybody is different. You can't, our life, our lived experience to where we are now is what's the determination about how we're going to lose the fat and when.
Meaning?
So if you've been lethargic your whole life, you've done nothing, sat on your ass, you're probably going to be a hyper responder because you've never worked out, you've never had activity, you've never done anything, you sat on your ass all day long and done nothing. You're probably going to drop weight really fast once you get started.
Okay.
Conversely, somebody who's an athlete who's gained weight, they have a level of muscularity that's got to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder typically for them to lose weight because they still have muscle mass and muscle memory going on. So that matters. But then there are other things too. You have high blood pressure. Do you have diabetes? Are you on other drugs? There are other factors that go through it. And for women, are you perimenopausal? Are you postmenopausal? Are you in menopause? All those things all matter when it comes to losing weight, which is why I always say it's about the consistency, right? It's about, are you being consistent in your efforts over time?
Mm-hmm.
I can take a snapshot for 30 days or 60 days and say, okay, here you worked out great, but then these next 90 you did a shitty job. So how can we maximize those days? If you think way back to retreat, I told you to win the second. Literally just win the second and string the seconds together. Don't win the day, don't win the week, don't win the month. Win the second and just consistently win that way. Don't make these big grandiose goals and then it looks so far away to get there. It's like, I'm never gonna get there. Or you take the day off, it's tomorrow off. I gotta get to next week. But next thing you know, it's out of your hands. Mm. So the idea is to a little bit at a time, be consistent. Your body will eventually respond to what we're doing.
Can your feet get bigger?
Yeah, your feet get smaller. My feet get smaller.
Yeah. Your feet get smaller when you not about losing just weight, but if you're doing a lot of, let's say, leg training and really those heavy weights.
I'm gonna say that the answer is no. Okay. Because the fat pads that you have under your feet go away when you lift weights, and so your feet typically get smaller. Typically. Mm-hmm. This ain't like the Incredible Hulk where you see him bust out his shoes, nothing like that. It ain't like that. I know that's why you asked. You went to go see Marvel last week, and you went and saw the Red Hulk, and he bust out his shoes and his pants, and that's what happened. Yeah, no, that's not
gonna do all that.
That's not reality.
I remember from one of our previous conversations, you said that when you lose weight, typically you lose weight in your face, your hands,
feet, neck,
and are the first places that you normally see the changes happening.
That's right, because the least amount of stored fat in those areas.
Okay.
So some people have fat brains, they got fat heads, so they're losing the head too. But other folks, cheekbones, neck, and that's what people say, right? They see, oh my God, you lose weight, I can see it in your face. That's the first thing they say. So, other things happen too as you lose weight. It'll boil down to not just losing the weight. It's going to boil down to, it's going to make you more confident. It's going to give you better experiences. Trying on clothes that you already have in your house that you couldn't fit, now you fit them. You're going to look more like a lady. You're not going to look like a man. You're not going to think like a man. You might smell like a man after the workout, but other than that, you should be good.
Should be good. We won't look like dudes.
You won't look. There is low opportunity for that to happen.
Unless we start taking supplements.
Super supplements. Not just regular supplements. Super supplements. Right. Things that you can't buy on Amazon.
But you can get them at places like GNC.
No.
We're talking prescription type stuff?
We're talking stuff that you can't even get a script for.
So how are they getting it then?
They buy it. Everything's for sale. That's why they don't drug test in IFBB and because they don't care.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it's enhanced and unenhanced. It's how you want to look. It's how you want to feel. I don't care to get much bigger than I am. I don't care to have a quick temper. So it doesn't move me to be enhanced like a lot of folks are.
Mm-hmm. So the lesson of today is, ladies, work out as hard as long as you possibly can, and you will not look like a dude.
But it's also more than that too, right? It's do you want to be reliant on others as you age? Do you want to have a higher probability of cancer? Do you want to have a higher probability of diabetes? Do you want to reduce your bone loss? Do you want to reduce your muscle loss? And do you want to still be active as you get older? It's all of those things. It's not just that one, I'm gonna look like a man. Okay, if you look like a man but you live 5 years longer, are you better?
I guess it depends on the individual.
I hope that you want to live a little bit longer.
Oh, because I think the ugly thing, but what I don't like to see in bodybuilders are how their veins pop out of their skin.
Oh, you know why that is?
No.
Low fat.
Okay.
That's all it is. Low fat.
Yeah, but no.
But you're not gonna get that lean.
No
you're not
one
gonna get that lean. It's just not gonna happen.
But if you lose in your hands, feet, and neck, and
your hands might get veiny. That's about it.
That's about it.
You're not going to get so lean where you have big vascular arms and legs. It's just not going to happen.
Okay.
You have to be sub 12% for a woman to really see vascularity in her arms and legs and stuff like that. And most women are nowhere near in danger of doing that. Most women are going to be in that healthy range, 18 to 24, which is great. And you're going to look fantastic. You have zero complaints and zero issues getting any man that you want.
With 18 to 24% fat on the body.
Yeah. Again, because you got boobs. Men need to be around, in my opinion, between 8 and 16 if you're a man. Just above miserable, just below fat. It just depends on what type of body type you have and things like that. But that's reasonable. It's not like it's some super hard thing. It's managing your fork. It's knowing what you're eating. It's exercising, lifting weights. It's a combination of everything. There is no 60% diet, 40% working out. No. It's 100, 100 everything. And the longer that you can do it, the better you do it, and the better you look, and the better you feel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like doing cardio, but I do it. Some days I don't want to lift weights, but I still do it.
Yeah.
We have to just make the decision that we're willing to be uncomfortable with what we're doing. A lot of folks don't take the time to be uncomfortable. They want to just, oh, I want to be happy. I want to be relaxing. No, you want to be, sometimes you got to be uncomfortable. You have to be in a place that's not in your comfort zone in order for you to see what your maximum capabilities are. And if you're willing to do that, the odds are greater that you're gonna live the life that you want to live, at least physically speaking. You got to go through some kind of fire, some kind of test, and have some kind of delayed gratification when it comes to this. That it's gonna make your life better. It's gonna make it healthier. It's gonna make it more fit. You'll be happier. I mean, the science all shows the same thing. It all points to the same direction. You just have to be willing to commit to do it. Isn't it easy? And then taking a comma, going to your recovery mode and going to your stress management mode. Recovering from your workouts is equally important. So getting your sleep, drinking enough water, eating the right foods, even eating the wrong food sometimes, occasionally, it's okay. Because you're still a human, you still gotta live. So, and that's what it is about what we do here. We're teaching a lifestyle where you can have 75% of the time you can eat right and work out right, but 25% of the time, do what the heck you want to do after you get to your goal.
Mm-hmm.
You
gotta get to your goal first before you can start living
that. When's my cheat day? Why do you care about a cheat day? How about we get you through A day first, and then B day, and then C day?
Some people make the cheat day that's their reward.
For what?
That's what gets them going.
But for what? What are you getting rewarded for?
I mean, the cheat day is their reward. They get to eat whatever they want to eat.
Well, here's your participation trophy. In the game of life.
Walter, I'm just saying, some people live for that. They will work out 5 days a week, but they know Saturday and Sunday they can
cheat. You can work out 5 days a week. You do all the stuff you want on the weekend, you just blow up your whole week. So yes, it's possible to craft and build your cheat day into what you're doing and into your efforts. But why would we try to do that in the beginning? Why not get to the first milestone goal, then have a cheat day, and set another goal, then have another cheat day, and then you're at your complete goal where you have your big picture, you're wearing a size 4 dress, you got what you want to do, you're living how you want to live, and now you have a cheat day.
And they start gaining the weight back.
No, because if you maintain 60 to 75% of the nutrition and the workouts that you were doing to get to where you are, you're not going to gain the weight back. It just doesn't happen. The recidivism rate after you hit your goal and you continue with 75% of what you were doing before, you stay in place. Remember, we talked about that metabolic rate, right? Your body's the same way. It's going to pick what it is. It's going to stay there. Like for me, my resting weight, 235 to 242. I'm never going to get more than 242, 243. But if I'm in off season, I'm never going to drop down below 235. It's just not going to happen. It's because I know what my body feels like. I know what it's supposed to be like. And you know what your body's supposed to be like. You know how you're supposed to feel. And so if you're sticking to your diet and sticking to your workouts, even if it's not 100%, you're still going to be where you need to be. It just becomes part of your living. It's just part of your life. It's like at your job. You know, when you sit down at your laptop, open your laptop, you know what you got to do. It's just like driving home from work. You just get in your car and drive. You don't think about, I got to make a right turn on Green Street, turn a left turn on 2nd Street. You don't think about any of that. You just get in the car and you just go. And if you're pissed off at the world, you're mad at the world, start singing the song and the music and listen to the radio, talking to the phone, next thing you know, you're home. You didn't think about it. You just got home. And the same thing happens with your body when you're working out. It's you know where you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to feel, and that's what happens. And that translates into your everyday habits. And that translates into working out hard. It translates into eating right. It translates to spending more time with your kids, spending more time with your husband, with your friends. It translates to being successful in the other parts of your life too, because it's creating the structure that you need to be successful. At least in my opinion.
That's very that's a good opinion. I think I'm moving in that direction because I can tell being it's really interesting. I don't see people here in Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
um, out and about like that in the wintertime. And I get it. It's
Oh,
cold. It is really cold up here, and it's a different kind of cold. If you live on the East Coast,
yeah.
this Minnesota cold is nothing like the East Coast cold. It feels different. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
the snow is not heavy. It's light, but it's a
It's
lot of
bone chilling.
but it's bone chilling. Yes, it gets in the bones, and so you have to layer if you're
Yeah.
going out. It's really interesting. I was watching my son and daughter-in-law getting dressed to go out, just to go to the grocery store, and even though they're just going from the house to the garage because they have a detached garage, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
house to the garage, into the car, to the grocery store, from the grocery store from the car to the grocery store, and vice versa coming back. They both had on at least 3 layers: gloves, hat, and scarf. Um,
Wow.
because the temperature is
It's
so
so
cold.
cold. Yeah.
And I went out one time
Mm.
and I said, no,
Oh no.
I'll never go back out there again. And I thought, I was layered up, right? Because I thought
Right.
I thought I had the right stuff, but I don't, not for this cold.
Not for that kind of cold. Right.
And so I think about, we went to it's really interesting though, because we went to his gym. He goes to a big box gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything that we've been talking about is so weird. Going into a gym and then seeing some of the things that we talked about, like I saw the people that are out there trying to do it on their own, and they're doing things wrong, right? And then I saw the giant muscular guys up top that got the real skinny legs in the bottom, which tells me they're not working out their legs. They're only doing upper body strength training, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw the people that were, great looking athletes, or, have, the muscular bodies and whatnot, but didn't care about wiping down before or after. They just get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was just really interesting to see how they would walk outside after they worked out. Pores are open, you've been
Been
sweating,
crazy.
and they jump out and jump in their car in their shorts and maybe a hoodie.
Yeah. Yeah. Not me.
Keep it going. And I'm thinking to myself, and I said to Matthew, I said, I would be sick as a dog if I did that. Um, just one day,
Mm-hmm.
I would be shivering by the time I got to the house. I was like, that's
Absolutely.
crazy. And my son, he puts on, he has his sweats, and then he has on his uh, tight looking like sweats,
Leggings. Uh-huh.
leggings, like sweats with the shorts over it,
Right.
puts sweats on over it. And then we go out. But, I told him, I said, this particular big box store, they have the special area for massaging and stuff that comes along with the premium plan, right?
Yes.
And so I told him, I said, you should start thinking about using these things so your body has an opportunity to cool down,
Mm-hmm.
close up some of those pores before you go back out into this freezing cold
Facts.
air. And so we spent some time, and I was showing him how this would work in terms of his recovery,
Mm-hmm.
and he really enjoyed it. He never took the time. What they would do is sit around for like 20 minutes inside after they work
Right.
out, talking about their workouts, whatever, then just go jump in the car. But once I gave him like a tour and showed him what this would do and how it,
At his own gym.
yeah, and getting equipment for in the house,
Right.
um, it's changed a little bit for him,
Good.
but just planting those seeds. But
Mm-hmm.
it was just really interesting seeing the variety of people, the ones who come in with the Tims, the ones that
Mm-hmm.
are coming in still in jeans but want to work out, like they don't enforce a dress code in this
So 12
particular.
degrees under below. So
Yeah, well, they
right.
just don't, but it was just really interesting to see all the pros and cons and the things that we've talked about happening in the big box gym.
Right.
It's really interesting to see that stuff. But for me, I think the biggest lesson I've learned being away from um home, Delaware, and not having my regular routine of getting in the car in the mornings, getting up at 6, reading my Bible, getting
Right.
dressed, get my breakfast going, make sure my lunch is packed, and jumping in the car and starting my day coming up to Middletown, is that my body is telling me. You'd be amazed at how much exercise really teaches you about your body.
Oh, yeah.
And how you can really connect to your body. Because I think for a long time, I was just ignoring whatever my body was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or if my body was like, girl, you better sit your tail down because, your knee is hurting.
Right.
Then I, go and sit down because my knee was hurting. But I wouldn't think about, well, why is your knee hurting? What's going on? Why is your knee hurting?
Something is off. Right.
Something's off, right? No, I ignore it. I go to work 16 hours, come home, crash, wake up in the
Right.
morning, knee
And
feels
what?
better,
Rinse off
right?
the
'Cause I-
right.
right. So now I'm realizing my body is telling me and I'm feeling it. It's almost like being a tin man. If this makes sense. I feel like I'm a tin man and I'm losing the oil.
Right.
So things are starting to
right.
creak a little bit and starting to, the joints are starting to feel their age, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me.
And I lay on the floor, and they have like all hardwood floors. So and nobody, we don't have a what do you call those things? A workout
Mat, little
the
mat.
mat. Yeah. So that's hard. Floors are hard. So I
Yeah.
try to get blankets and make myself a little workout mat with so I could do a little bit of something
Right.
to feel a little bit better, or I'll lay on the bed and try to do a little something to make it feel better. But I think it's important that we listen to our bodies.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that I've had that lesson and understanding that being in the gym, not necessarily being in the gym, but giving yourself a good workout. Sweat is your friend.
Yeah.
It really is, because it just really makes your body recognize it's what's going on with itself, right?
That's right.
And that's
So
really
sweating is an active
important.
thing too, right? Sweating is one of the things that's helping your body cool down. So that means your core temperature is over 98.6 degrees. So now we're just trying to actively cool ourselves down and trying to ensure that we don't overheat, and we're making sure that we're moving, our joints are lubricated, and we're drinking our water along the way. It's all of the things, not just one part. It's not just one part. So
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get back. And
T minus a couple of
now I
days.
know I won't look like a dude.
11 days. Yeah, 11 days you'll be back. And then you got a couple appointments. Yeah, it'll be good. See you back on Free Fitness Saturday. Next Saturday. It'll be good.
Walter, I don't do the Free Fitness Saturday.
Well,
You want to come up there? I would love to do. I do it at home, but I'm not driving to Middletown, folks. I drive an hour and a half already, 3 days a week to come up there and work out.
No, I think what's the weather so good like that weekend?
But if I have a driving partner and we can switch off, and then it becomes more reasonable, because then after we get to know each other in the car, each other's driving, and I can trust her driving, and she can trust my driving, or whatnot. There may be some days where I can just crash in the car.
Yeah.
I doubt it, though. We'll probably talk all the way down and all the way back.
But
having company in the car is a good thing.
Yeah.
I look forward to meeting her.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Allow. Let's see what the weather's going to look like when you come back. Look at that. 60 degrees. Sunshine, blue skies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, too.
Well, good. Well, come on. Let's get this work. We'll see you when you get back.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. That is another episode of the Metamorphosis Unleashed. We're glad you stuck around to realize you will not look like a man by lifting weights.
You'll still be cute.
You'll still be cute, I promise.
You'll be cute.
You'll be able to eat less, and you'll be able to have a good time with your friends and doing all that fun stuff. But most importantly, ladies, pick up the weights. It's okay. walk past the treadmill, go to the dumbbells. If you're uncomfortable, come to the studio. We'll work out with you right here, 415 East Main Street in Middletown, Delaware. We'll figure out a plan that works best for you. In the meantime, we look forward to seeing you again next week. Please like, subscribe, share, watch the video, come back, watch the other videos. Let's get these views up, and we'll see you all in a week.
There you go.
It was a pleasure. See you next Monday.
All righty. Have a good one.